morning and a very warm welcome. You're watching JanataTelevision and this is the English Bulletin with me, Sushant Akal. The top stories first. Lower House Committee asks the government to prepare for a potential third wave of the coronavirus, seeks for more attention to child health care. Road construction in Kathmandu continues to remain unorganized. Major streets still have patchy roads. COVID-19 cases rising in the country. Recovery rate remains stable at 94.1%. China says Taliban expected to play an important role in Afghan peace process. Representatives of Taliban travel to Xinjiang for the talks. And Novak Djokovic thrashes Kai Nishikori to reach men's semi-finals. Women's final to kick off on Saturday. And now the news in detail. The Committee on Women and Social Affairs under the House of Representatives has directed the government to manage the physical infrastructure of the health sector and manage vaccination in view of the possible third wave of COVID-19. A meeting of the committee held on Thursday directed the government to learn from its first and second wave of COVID-19 and prepare for the possible third wave by paying attention to the aspects that need to be improved. The government has also been directed to address the dilemma of professional development of health workers in order to effectively manage them, as there is a shortage of specialist health workers related to children, pointing out the need to study the psychosocial status of children as they are confined at home due to the ban. The committee has also directed to conduct a factual study on the overall development of children active in the digital world. The streets of Kathmandu always seem unorganized due to the lack of coordination between the departmental bodies of the central government and the local level. The process of building and demolishing roads continues. A report.
This road is the downhill section from Kathmandu Ward number 15, the Luchautari. This road has not been built for a long time despite an active contract. The road remains in this state as the contractor claims he is unable to complete the construction in the stipulated time due to the effect of coronavirus on his labor force. Iswarman Dangol, spokesperson of the Kathmandu Metropolitan City, said that there is a problem of having to wait for a long time to get the contract due to the lack of coordination between various committees. He said that there is a policy to discourage development work during the monsoon season and there are procedural difficulties in working by forming various committees. Problems have also arisen due to lack of coordination with government agencies. The plight of roads within the Kathmandu Metropolitan City, which has a jurisdiction of about 1200 kilometers, can be seen everywhere. The condition of the road is similar in Tamil, a major tourist destination, due to which the businessman said that it is difficult to run the business. Even near the hospitals, patients suffer more when the road is damaged. If there is no coordination with the metropolis and various departmental bodies, as per the long-term plan, the people of the metropolis will continue suffering.
The Kathmandu Metropolitan City has relaunched the COVID-19 vaccination drive for the remaining people above the age of 50. Under the 4-day campaign that started yesterday, vaccination centers have been managed at all 32 wards, said Hari Bahadur Kunwar, Chief of the Urban Health Department, KMC. Vaccines are administered to eligible people from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. The beneficiaries are required to produce their national identity cards like a citizenship certificate, passport or driving license. If the person does not have those documents, they need to get a recommendation from the respective local level. In the district, the number of people who have received the first and final doses of the vaccine has reached approximately 300,000 according to available data. This is Janata Bulletin. We'll be right back after a short break. Welcome back after the break. We continue with other national news. The country reported 3,365 new cases of COVID-19 yesterday, according to the Ministry of Health and Population. The new cases were confirmed from 9,555 RT-PCR tests and 4,687 antigen tests conducted during the same period, the ministry said in its routine virtual press conference yesterday. Likewise, 1,373 COVID-19 patients recovered during the reference period, taking the recovery caseload to 650,445 till date. The recovery rate is 94.1%. Meanwhile, 16 people lost their lives to coronavirus infection during the past 24 hours. With this, the number of people succumbing to the flu-like infection stands at 9,807. There are altogether 30,390 active cases in the country. Among them, 27,355 were availing treatment in home isolation and 3,035 in institutional isolation. Similarly, 636 patients were in ICU facility, while 160 were in ventilator support, the ministry said. The number of people fully vaccinated against COVID-19 stands at 154,880. A total of 3.6 million people have received the first dose of the vaccine against the deadly infection. And now the news from the economic front. The Ministry of Finance has sought clarification from the Nepal Stock Exchange (NEPSE) as per the reports of share trading manipulation were released. The ministry asked NEPSE's CEO Chandra Singh Saud to provide clarification within 3 days after his family was reported to have purchased shares in a company that was about to go public. Likewise, the Finance Ministry has sought clarification from Securities Board of Nepal (CBON). The ministry asked for the clarification after dissemination of news in different media regarding CBON chairperson Bhisma Rajdungana and his family having made undue agreement with the company to sell ordinary shares within 3 days. The ministry in gist has asked both NEPSE and CBON about the truth of the contents disseminated in different media outlets. Time for a short break here at Janata Bulletin. Stay tuned for international news. Welcome back, and now the international news. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has said China's possible involvement in Afghanistan could be a positive thing. He said this was if China was looking towards a peaceful resolution of the conflict and a truly representative and inclusive government. His comments came after Taliban representatives visited China. China said it saw the Taliban playing an important role in the peace process and rebuilding of Afghanistan. No one has an interest in a military takeover of the country by the Taliban, the restoration of an Islamic emirate, said Mr. Blinken, who was asked about talks while on a visit to India. He urged the Taliban to come to the negotiating table peacefully. 9 Taliban representatives met Foreign Minister Wang Yi in the northern Chinese city of Tianjin on a 2-day visit, during which the peace process and security issues were discussed, a Taliban spokesperson said. In a tweet, the Taliban spokesperson said China had reiterated its commitment of continuation of their assistance with Afghans and said they will not interfere in Afghanistan's issues but will help to solve the problems and restoration of peace in the country. You're watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. Novak Djokovic remains on course for a Golden Slam after ruthlessly ending the dreams of home player Kei Nishikori to cruise into the Olympic semi-finals. The world number 1, bidding to become the first man to win all 4 Grand Slam titles and an Olympic gold in the same year, breezed through 6-2, 6-0. He will face Germany's Alexander Zverev in the semi-finals on Friday. Switzerland's Belinda Bencic and Czech Republic's Marketa Vondrousova will meet in Saturday's women's final. Bencic outlasted Kazakhstan's Elena Rybakina 7-6, 4-6, 6-3 in a match lasting almost 3 hours in the searing Tokyo heat, saving 5 set points in a 73-minute opening set that she won on a tie-break. The Swiss later returned to the court to become the 5th player to reach finals in in both singles and doubles at the Games since tennis was reintroduced to the Olympics in 1988, as she and Victorija Golubic beat Brazilian pair Laura Pigossi and Luisa Stefani 7-5, 6-3. We're at the end of Janata Bulletin, and the headlines once again. Lower House Committee asks the government to prepare for a potential third wave of coronavirus, seeks more attention to child health care. Road construction in Kathmandu continues to remain unorganized. Major streets still have patchy roads. COVID-19 cases rising in the country. Recovery rate remains stable at 94.1%. China says Taliban expected to play an important Afghan peace process. Representatives of Taliban travel to Tianjin for the talks. And Novak Djokovic presses Kei Nishikori to reach men's semi-finals. Women's final to kick off on Saturday. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.